Hey, hey, hey.
Hi, how are you?
I've never been more excited to podcast.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm sitting down.
Oh,
It's the first time all day
it's kind of sad.
that I have sat down, and it feels so nice.
That is really sad.
Oh, look, you're taller than me. Actually, we're even, and I'm so slouched.
I'm sitting up straight.
I'm going to sit up straight. Okay. Much better.
And now you're taller than me.
So remember, if you don't already know, we broadcast this via YouTube as well, so you can watch us.
So you can watch us awkwardly
Which,
figuring out whose
we
torso
have quite
is.
the following on YouTube, and I think it's probably people are making fun of us because they're like, "Oh, watching those two is way better than listening because they get to see what we look like."
I
and
feel
I'm
like
always a
that
mess.
would be like appalling. Well,
Yeah.
I'm always a mess.
It probably makes them all feel better because they can look at us and be like, "Oh,
Today, I went to pick blueberries at Rogish Farm, and I told him that I would talk about it on the podcast, and he said, well, do you think that you'll get any people to come to Rogish Farm? And I was like, no, probably not. I don't think anybody
well, not for
actually
blueberries
listens to
since
us.
they're done picking."
They are done, but I don't think anyone listens to us was the point.
Oh, well, they do. So you can go there to pick strawberries to pick
No,
sunflowers. That's next.
Sunflowers.
Follow them. Rogish Farms on Instagram.
No,
His
yeah.
wife Amy is delightful.
He's not.
No comment.
We're kidding.
Or not.
But I made gluten-free blueberry muffins with my blueberries tonight. And you know, I'm not really like one to just whip up something from scratch.
You wanted to because you said, "Do you have any buttermilk?"
I've
Of
never
course I did.
in my whole life used buttermilk. Never.
My favorite cake that the kids all like has buttermilk, so I
I
always
have
keep it on
never,
hand.
ever. I've never baked anything that didn't come out of a box.
For real?
I mean, I have,
I was
but
gonna say that's not true.
it's not very often. Maybe once a year I bake something that doesn't come out of a
feel like
box.
that's a stretch.
I
you
don't
aren't
bake.
giving yourself enough credit.
I don't bake. I cook. I don't bake. I'm not a fan of baking. However, I just pulled 3 zucchinis out of my garden, and I think next is going to be gluten-free zucchini bread.
I have a good recipe.
Oh, send it to me.
Real good recipe.
Send it to
That
me.
makes me want to make bread, but I can't make bread for quite some time, so
What have you been
next
doing?
week. So we're in the middle of the Ohio State Fair. So if you have not been to the Ohio State Fair and you are from Ohio or anywhere that you're drivable to Ohio, the greatest of all state fairs is now through Sunday. So go visit.
Want to know a secret?
What? You've never been.
In my whole life,
No, I know.
I've never been.
But your daughter has.
She's been.
It is the fun. And actually, I say that, and I haven't even seen anything outside of the literal, I'm being serious, the chicken barn and the sheep barn. I've been to the camping lot, and
Like,
those are the 3 places.
Kristin, the things that you say are fun, you tend to not be thrilled with a lot of times.
Well, but we're
It's
busy.
so fun,
we go to the fair.
But I'm cleaning
like,
chickens.
Our friends, no, I didn't say cleaning. That was what I did today. But like we dropped off chickens. I have a real chicken run story. If you want to hear it, I might get arrested for real if the state of Ohio is listening. So not really, I'm joking. But so we showed the chickens at the open class show, and normally they let them stay over for the junior class show. This year, they send me a message because I happen to know them. And they're like, "Are you going to pick up your chickens and your ducks?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, on Tuesday, but can't they just stay over till the end of the fair?" They're like, "No, they have to be there out tonight." I'm like, "Tonight? I don't have cages. I don't have boxes."
So what'd you do?
So my friend, Jen, who is a doctor and like so much fun and nice, she's like, "I'll go help you." And so then there were 3 other teenagers and they rode on the golf cart. We went over and like literally I drove around the fair with the chicken on my lap. But that wasn't the best. Then they overnighted in her trailer so I could take him to my parents because it was like 10 o'clock at night. And then I had to drive home, and I was in my dad's car. I had to drive home with a big chicken on my lap because I didn't have a box to put it in.
This just does
I
not
fit
seem like
everybody in
normal
boxes except for him, and he's not nice, but now he is. I'm like, if you want to know how to tame a chicken, take it for a car ride on your lap. So I'm like,
because your body really looks
oh,
like it's done
those
well.
scratches are not from that chicken. Those are from the meat chickens. My
know.
arms are scratched. My
I don't
legs are
understand why
scratched.
you do this. I really don't. I need to understand the benefit of doing this because it does not seem fun.
Yeah, actually the chicken run thing was kind of fun. So we're on a golf cart, if you can imagine, with like all these chickens and ducks, 4 chickens, 4 ducks. Quack,
But it's
quack,
just
quack.
all this work.
It is a lot of work.
What are you gaining from this?
Well, I'm not gaining anything, but the kids have had a fun time. Like tonight, Jack's running around the fair with friends, and I'm here washing chickens.
Cleaning chickens. Right. Like,
So Parker had to stay back for football. So Parker and I are manning the meat chicken. So last night, my dad drove up with his friend Lowell, who does not listen to us, but hi, Lowell. They drove up to help us sort meat chickens. So with these meat chickens, you have to have 3, you take 4, but 3 have to be, the 4th's a backup, perfect in size. They have to be 7 pounds and less, but you want them to do the same size. They have to feel the same, their breasts, their thighs, their legs. They have to be fully feathered. They have to be clean. So it's a real challenge to get these chickens matched up. We're taking 3 pens for 3 kids. So my dad came up and helped us last night. So that was a huge help. So today, Parker and I washed them after football. So we're a step ahead for tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll load them into apple boxes into my air-conditioned car for a glorious ride down 71 to enter into the fair, hoping that they all are 7 pounds and under, because we have a couple that are 7 pounds.
but okay.
7.1, you're out.
So again, I'm trying to understand. Like, now, don't get me wrong. I completely understand.
It's a contest.
Like,
yeah.
right. And so that's where I like struggle, because you've said that to me before. You're like, it's like a sport. Like it is genuinely like a sport. It is so hard for me to like understand that, I guess. I don't know why
Well, meat chickens are one of those things that we know how to do fairly well. And so it is like, we know how to do it. So it's a challenge. Like, will you have the best ones? Like, how do you compare to everybody? I mean, it's a competition. So it's just like, you want Olivia's team. It's a match, you want Olivia's team to win off,
Sure.
2. So she doesn't have to play that 3rd round.
No, I mean that part, the competition
but
part
meat
of it,
chickens
I
aren't fun.
understand.
There's a lot, but they are pretty once you wash them.
It
When I
just
walked
seems
back in the
like-
barn, I was like, oh, you guys are kind of handsome.
I saw them running around while I was trying to conduct interviews today. We're super professional.
dipping chickens in a pool.
I'm like, oh, just disregard that out there. Don't worry. If you come to work with us, you don't have to do that. So.
But you know what? The kids always like to do that. Some of them are like,
they
can I work in
actually
the
have
barn?
to.
Like,
Yes,
what are
we
you
do
going to
have
do?
some. We do have some that want to work in the
Anyways,
barn.
that's enough fair talk. But Campbell, of course, is at the state fair, and she is like sequestered there and cannot leave, not even to come to our camper, which we thought, because it's off property, we thought she could use the camper as a nice like home base for like refilling clothes and things. And oh no, she's not allowed to come there. So, but she's doing good. It was a rough start, I think. Some tears.
Oh, she was crying.
There's been a couple of moments. I think it's, this is why it's so good, because I don't know who listens to this podcast. I might get in trouble. It is so good for kids to be in different atmospheres with bosses. She has only been surrounded by people who have been super kind, great leaders, but nice. And so when you have someone who isn't that nice, it's hard. So she constantly feels like she has not reached the bar, like she has to keep it being better. When I'm like, you know what? She's not talking about you necessarily. So she's addressing the whole group with issues. So it's not just about you.
It's not to be taken
It
personally.
could be you, but most likely it's not you. So don't take it personally.
Right.
So the one lady, she's got figured out. She's like, I got her. She's like, runs a tight ship, but she's really kind. We're still working on the other one.
So in that type of scenario, Campbell's personality is to be a pleaser, as it is anyways, right?
Yes.
Like even without something like this, she is always wanting to be a pleaser. So
And she's driven for success because she wants them to be proud of
so
her.
like
and
if she wants to please everyone. And so if she feels that she is not doing that, that is frustrating for her, I'm sure. So, and I don't mean that in any negative connotation.
So it's been good. And she's got some board members who are really go-getters and hard workers and others that aren't. And so she's just learning how different people work and how you work with them. And so it's been a good experience. And now it's been so much better. Like once the fair started, I feel like it was so much better.
Well, and that's your whole life. You're going to come across people in jobs and, in school that are not going to, you can't please everybody.
Right. Well, I said, Jack, do you have an interest in doing this? And he's like, she works like 15 hours a day. I don't think so. Yeah. She's going to come home with such good experiences and such good stories, and it's something I never got to do. So, I applied for this and I never got selected. So,
I mean, it's very cool.
Bye, Sam. Sam's leaving. He stopped in.
Quick meal.
Back at it. So yeah, we've just been state fairing it, but I got to see so many friends and it's been fun, and just our sheep family. And, Jack and I showed a sheep together. We showed Delta, the border Leicester, and the judge, who I do know, he told Jack, he's like, you're showing with a legend. And then Jack was like, I'm like laughing. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Did you feel like you needed to get that into the podcast?
No.
Though?
And then Jack goes, "Who's the legend?"
That's my Jack.
And I looked at him and I'm like, "Your sheep." Like, your sheep is the legend. But the judge, I think, was like really trying to crack one on me. Like, I'm old. And here I am, like showing the sheep with Jack. So it was my first Border Leicester show that I've actually had to show in. So Jack didn't quite get it. So that was fun. So I don't know. That's about all I got. You had vacation. Tell me all about it.
We did. We went to Marco Island. It was wonderful. There is definitely nothing to do in Marco Island. It is definitely a retiree's playground. Like,
but you liked it, I thought.
We did because we just, so I knew I was coming home to a bit of chaos. Like, I knew the last week of July is kind of the start of my fall. So I knew what I was coming home to. So I genuinely tried to like enjoy the nothing. Like, so it was kind of nice. Like, we would wake up in the morning and I had my coffee on the patio and sat out over the ocean, and then we would, get ready, go down to the beach for a few hours. And then when we were done with that, we are definitely beach people. My brother and my sister-in-law came with us.
More pool people?
They are more pool people. Their kids are a little younger, not much younger, but a little bit younger. So they don't do the beach as well. They're a little scared of the ocean. My niece and nephew. My sister-in-law refuses to pee in the ocean, which I find to be hilarious because she's like, "That's the grossest thing." I'm like, "You're actually in the minority." Like, everyone I know is like, "Oh, I have to pee. I'm going to go into the ocean." Or, "Oh, I have to pee."
No, I don't think I'd say I have to pee. I'm going to go into the ocean.
I do.
I would just go to the bathroom.
Oh, I'll be like, "I'll be right back. Let me go pee."
I don't do that.
Yeah. Like we went on the shelling excursion, and when we were getting back on the boat, I'm like, "Okay, if you have to pee, go now." And everyone did.
So I've been out on a boat for the whole day, and that I've done.
Yeah, you like
but
dip
there was
into
no
the water.
bathroom.
Right, so you would dip into the
might have
water.
been, but
and
that
go.
might have been
But
gross.
honestly, I would rather go like
Like
we went out on the lake a few weeks ago, and like I would rather go in the lake than. And they have a brand new boat. Our cousins that we were on their boat, and it has a bathroom, but I didn't want to use it because I'm like,
how do they empty a bathroom on a boat?
You have to like empty it, I think,
like
similar to a camper. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm like, I don't want to contribute to that. Like, I realize that other people do it and it's there, but like, if you don't have to utilize it, I don't want to utilize it. So
in our camper, we are using the bathroom.
well, you're like living in it right now, though. So that's a little bit different than
and more
like,
comfortable to sit on a seat than in, like hovering. At
right.
The public
It's not like a public
at the
restroom. Like
fair.
that's your home this week. You know,
We
for 2
told
weeks.
Campbell she might actually die because she went to the bathroom at the fair and somehow only our child cut like the whole elbow, scraped it in the bathroom on the toilet paper holder. So we're like,
Does she have tetanus?
you better clean that good because like you could eat off the barn floor and have a lesser like opportunity to get some weird disease.
Like
so
that's
we're
like
like
a staph
really
infection waiting
clean
to
it.
happen.
It was. I don't know how she did it. I mean, it was a good one.
She is a little bit of a klutz, that child.
Oh, she is. I used to think it was like maybe somewhat intentional. Like she would like be dramatic about
like an
things.
attention thing?
No, not an attention thing. Just like, I don't know. It was like, I don't know. Maybe it was attention.
I think it's
don't know.
accidental.
But yeah, I think it's accidental. I think she really
She's just a
klutz.
klutz. So Marco Island was great. We ate at a lot of like cute little tiki restaurants, and we had. I've never been in a storm. Like
You were in a tropical depression storm.
We were in a storm. I have never in my life. My kids were crying. Like it was so like Joey and Sam broke down in tears at once.
Like
Sam,
was water blowing at the windows.
no, it
of the
wasn't
restaurants?
windy. That was the craziest thing. It wasn't windy. We were sitting at the restaurant and it started to drizzle when we got there, and we were like, oh, okay, whatever. And it's Florida, so like of course it rains every single day. So it started to rain a little bit, and we were like, okay, no big deal. And then it was like what you see in the movies. The lightning cracked, thunder like pounded so loud. It was the loudest I've ever heard anything in my life, and it happened at the exact same time. And the lightning hit in the water. We were on the water, and the lightning hit about 100 feet from us. It was by far the scariest thing, and I've never seen so much. So we then we were like, oh my gosh, like what do we do? Like this is crazy. And everyone at the restaurant's like looking around, like grown adults are like nervous. And the waitress was like, I have worked here for 8 years. I've never seen anything like this.
Did you order more drinks? What did you do?
We had a drink and we stayed.
Hi, Tom. Welcome home.
But in that hour that we were there, like in my life, I've never seen anything like it. It
Really?
was by far the scariest storm we've ever been in. Would you agree with that
Wowza.
storm in Florida? Yeah.
Oh, Tom says yes.
Yeah, like it was, no, you weren't scared, but
wasn't
like
scared.
the craziest storm that I've ever seen. It was intense. It was really, really intense. So then, of course, the rest of the week, all the kids had like PTSD every time it like drizzled. Like they were all like nervous. But it was a great trip. It was nice to be away.
Was the food good?
I was less than impressed with anywhere we went. Now you have to remember, you cannot take food suggestions from me because I'm gluten-free.
Mm-hmm.
So like I struggle at 99% of the restaurants that we go to. I did not find like one restaurant we went to, Tom said there was one restaurant that he got sushi at that he was 100% like blown away by it. Other than that, we weren't, anywhere we went was just a lot of grouper. Everywhere we went, grouper. They pushed
Must
the
have
grouper.
been in season.
Yeah. So they really
So
pushed that.
how were your hotel accommodations?
We stayed at the Marriott Crystal Lake, it's called, which is a Marriott Vacation Club hotel. So it is meant for owners, or you can rent points to get this. It's to stay there. I think you can do it by the night as well, like for a fee, but it's meant like that's how it's set up. So it had 3 pools. It's right on the beach. It's got, a restaurant, a pizza place, an activity center for the kids. Liv made like an awesome candle. Even like the older kids, like Liv even like appreciated that. She made like a bracelet with sea glass. And so like, and every day there's like a DJ at the pool, and every day there's just like activities. Like we played music, trivia, and like,
Would this be a place you'd want to retire to?
So that is actually what I said to Tom, that I would I could see myself retiring to somewhere like similar to Marco Island, somewhere on the Gulf. I can understand why the Gulf Coast is so big for retirees.
But it's so much warmer.
It's so warm. It is so comfortable. I also understand why no one is there in the month of July. Like
so hot.
We are used to Hilton Head, where the month of July is heavy season and busy season. So like every restaurant has a 2-hour wait, and you can't just like go anywhere. That is not the case in South Florida on the Gulf Coast.
It's so hot.
It's so hot. It's like miserably hot. Like we couldn't eat outside. It was not comfortable. I mean, we did eat outside and it was not comfortable. So we were very much ready to we were there 8 days. Like we were ready to come home. Yeah, we were ready to come home. But it was a lovely trip, nice time with family and all that. We were just definitely we were done. It was nice to sleep in our own beds. And although Tom and I really lucked out, we got the way that the condo was set up. I don't know why we got so lucky and they gave us this room, but we got the King Master Suite at the opposite end of everyone else. And we were we slept like babies. Like it was
no kids.
No kids. My kids had their own room in another side of the house. Yeah. So that part was lovely. But it was great. It was great to be away, but it was definitely back to the grind this week.
Yeah, it's nice to be back though in your normal routine.
You know what? It kind of is. And it's I was telling you, when you're away and you have work waiting for you, it kind of weighs on you, and it makes it it's still enjoyable, but you're I have this to do when I get home. I have this to do when I get home. I don't think
so much about for me, it's the getting ready to go that I don't like. So when I'm there, I enjoy it. And then I don't really think about it too much, I guess, until the end.
They call me a lot while I'm on vacation.
Yeah. But as Bill says, you love it. So
love it. Is that what he thinks?
Yeah, he says you love it.
Did you hear that? Bill says I love it when they call me when I'm on vacation.
Yeah. He said if she didn't like it, she would say that she didn't want to be called. So she loves it because she knows it makes her life easier when she comes back.
Well, it does. Otherwise, it's waiting for me when I get back. So it's the lesser of two evils.
No problem. I tried to address the issue, but he says, hey, she
no
loves
problem.
it. It's fine.
No problem. I appreciate you for trying to address
I did.
the issue. I'm grateful for that.
I did.
Yeah. That's nice. It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good. But it is nice to be home. And now it's just like back to school, sports start this week.
Yeah, but it's tax-free holiday for 10 days starting today.
I have to find some time to go shopping.
So tomorrow when you're listening to this, that's day 2 of the tax-free holiday. They've made some major changes.
Yeah,
10 days.
10 days. And
they increased the dollar amount,
that is
which
huge
is fantastic.
to me because $75, what it was, is not enough to buy.
It's not even
much.
A pair of shoes for my size 14 kid who's walking around with his clodhoppers. So Parker actually, which one of those might be a birthday present, we were at Dick's and it's really hard to find size 14. Yeah. They just don't have them.
When did you have time to go to Dick's today?
Oh, we had to go today because we didn't have a mouthpiece. So when I said I'm going to town to pick up Parker, I'm not leaving the house the rest of the day or the property.
Went to Dick's after?
Then I had to go to Menor after that. But let me tell you about Dick's. Dick's had some good stuff. Olivia's going to need to go back to clothes shopping there. back to school
Do
shopping.
you know that on the way to volleyball this morning, I said, we have to find a day to go back to school shopping. And do you know what she said to me?
I have everything I need.
She said, I really don't need anything.
Oh, well, that's nice. Because the average
Right?
parent spends over $600 per kid on back to school supplies and clothes.
I bet you I find that to be low.
Well, I thought, no way do we spend 600. And Parker's like, we just spent 200 and some on my shoes and my mouthpiece.
That's my point. Like, it's very...
His little inserts that don't crease his shoes.
Oh, Jesus. That's crazy.
They actually, I think, made improvements on those. Your socks, Parker, are so dirty. I am so dirty.
The amount of money is how much my grandma spends.
Your grandma
She does spend a lot on
is
you.
the best grandma. Not that Jane and Heidi aren't the best.
No, but she just spends
This grandma is
more.
an over-the-top spender.
Bought me new shoes for school.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
so
Jane-
Liv is really set.
Jane, do you hear this? Heidi.
She needs some school supplies, but that's like it.
Oh, Parker wants to bring his new shoes on the podcast. Sure, Parker. This is funny. So the actually interesting thing is Parker's not into any clothes or shoes or really anything except hunting. And Parker really liked these shoes. So we're going to show them to you. They're, what are they, Parker? Nike, Air Jordans, high
Sam
tops.
those are like Sam's golf shoes, right?
They are very lovely, size 14.
Yeah.
They are nice. And he's very excited about them. Therefore, I am very excited about them because there's not much that Parker gets excited about. So,
All right, we are running out
oh
of
my gosh,
time
we're out of
here,
time. I feel like we
so-
talked a lot about nothing.
Yeah. that's
So
kinda
here's
usual.
to the Ohio State Fair.
That's it.
Sunday, it's over. Woo! And then it's like August.
Yeah.
Back to school, friends.
Yeah.
Until next time, we're mismatched.